Well, I'm officially alone.
My world just turned upside down.
I am moving.
My husband and I are taking over my dad's business, which means moving back to my home state of Wisconsin after 13 years away. But we're not ready to say goodbye to the house we've called home for the last 5 years. I have poured my heart and soul into this place, and there's still so much I want to do here. So to hold on to the home and hopefully generate some income, we're turning it into an Airbnb. That means renovations, the challenges of long-distance property management, and of course, plenty of DIYs. Welcome to the Airbnb Diaries.
Life is a winding road.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to my channel, and welcome back to the Airbnb Diaries. Guys, I am on an official countdown. I have 9 days until my husband leaves me to head to Wisconsin to start learning my dad's business. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna be here chipping away at all of these projects to turn this house into an Airbnb. And I'm not gonna lie, my kitchen is currently like the only part of my house that is not completely ripped apart. Since I only have 9 more days with my husband, we have been hard at work moving furniture all around. So we've been moving things to my basement that are going to be coming with us. We've been moving things up to the main floor that are going to be a part of this Airbnb. It has been a lot of work. It has been one giant puzzle. And even though it's been a lot of work, it's been also a lot of fun. And that being said, I am taking a little bit of a break on my bedroom makeover because I really need to get started on this next project because I can't do it alone. Or at least the first half of this project I can't do alone because I have a feeling this demo is gonna suck and I'm gonna need somebody with much bigger muscles than I have. So with all of that being said, we are starting a bathroom renovation. And not just a little refresh, I am completely gutting the space and building it back up from scratch. Now in episode 1 of the Airbnb Diaries, I mentioned this renovation very briefly, and some of you questioned why I was doing such a large project when I am trying to make money and not spend all this money. So what I want to do is dive into the design of this bathroom and start piecing together this design I have in my head and coming up with a rough game plan so I know what I'm getting myself into. And while I do all of that, I will explain exactly why this bathroom needs a full gut renovation. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. I am soaking up every bit of time that I possibly can out on my patio. Since I have been posting a video every week instead of every other week, I have been doing a lot of editing, and every time I am editing a video, I am sitting right here. I have a TV show on, and I am enjoying every ounce of my patio that I possibly can before I have to move. Let's get to designing out this bathroom. And before I do that, let me kind of explain why I think this bathroom renovation has to happen. At this point, I don't think it's a want, I think it is a must. This must happen. So first and foremost, this house for hopefully a long time is still going to be our property, and I think anything I put into this house is still going to be an investment and not going to be a bad thing. I think I will definitely at some point make my money back on this renovation. And beyond this just being a good investment, also this bathroom is just plain gross, and it's been gross for a while. Some of you guys might relate to this. I think when it's your own house and your own space, you're kind of willing to put up with the gross factors and look past things, especially for me because I knew eventually I would get to a bathroom renovation. It just hadn't happened yet. So I was willing to kind of put up with how the bathroom looked and felt. But personally for me, I don't think an Airbnb guest would really look past the grossness of this bathroom. We do have a little bit of a mold issue, mainly in the shower area. One, the tile and the grout it's original to the house. So the house was built in 1979, which makes that 46 years that it's been sitting in there. Also, the way that the shower is designed out currently, it doesn't have good airflow and it always feels a little damp, which of course kind of quickly leads to mold and mildew. So no matter how much I clean this bathroom and try to make it feel fresh, it always feels damp and it always feels gross. The other thing that I also do have to take into consideration is that I am in competition with the other Airbnbs in my area, and I also happen to have a slight advantage knowing exactly what these Airbnbs are like. Because of my other job as a hair and makeup artist for weddings, a lot of times I am getting people ready at these large full house Airbnbs that are in my area. And one thing that almost 100% of them all have are clean, freshly renovated bathrooms. Now, a lot of times the design aspect of these bathrooms are very simple. They're nothing too extravagant or anything like that, but they are fresh, they are clean, you know that they are freshly renovated, and I have to make sure that my Airbnb has nice, fresh, updated bathrooms. So that's kind of the main reason as to why a renovation is happening and why I think it's a must at this point. There's a lot more I could talk about, but those are definitely the main reasons. So let's get into the design. This bathroom is very small and the size of the bathroom is not changing. That was my original design and plan for this renovation if I was staying here, but now I don't have the time or the money to do that project, so we have to keep the bathroom the same size that it is. So right off the bat, I know that the layout of this bathroom can't change. The shower's got to stay where it is, the toilet has to stay where it is, and the vanity has to stay where it is. But there is one thing that I know I can do that I think is really gonna open up the space and make this bathroom look and feel so much bigger, and I'm really excited to do it. Now let me see if I can pull up some pictures of what I'm picturing in my head and kind of explain it to you guys. So as of right now, the entryway to the shower is basically a wall with a little doorway in it so that you can get into the shower. And because this shower is so closed off, it really makes it hard for the shower to air out, and it always feels a little damp. So what I want to do is get rid of basically that whole wall and open up the shower. Now I can't get rid of the entire wall because the toilet is also on that wall. So that part of this wall, I want to basically just bring it down to a half wall or a pony wall and then do glass everywhere else. I think that's going to obviously look really, really nice. It's also going to open up this bathroom immensely. And then I also think it's going to really help with ventilation and airing out the shower so that we don't have that mold issue anymore. Oh yeah, so this is almost exactly what I'm picturing, but in this case, the vanity is up against the pony wall, whereas in my case, it would be a toilet. Now, once I get past building out and tiling the shower, the rest of the bathroom I think is gonna be pretty straightforward and not that hard. I am gonna have to retile the floor, but then I just have to install a vanity and install a toilet. Now, I think for the toilet, I am actually gonna go with the same toilet I got for my mom's little powder bathroom that I did a few years ago, because that was such a small, sleek little toilet that works perfectly with small bathrooms. I think that's gonna look so nice in this space. And then I also already pretty much have decided that I wanna just build the vanity from scratch. One, because I've already built a vanity, so I kind of know what to expect. And then two, I also know I can build a much nicer vanity for a fraction of the price as a store-bought vanity. Now, do I know what I want that vanity to look like? No, not really. I am picturing kind of a darker wood vanity. I kind of want it to look like an old dresser, but I think I'm gonna have a hard time finding an old dresser that would actually fit in this bathroom. So I think I might just have to build it to look like an old dresser. It is a small bathroom, but I really think that these simple changes are going to make a huge difference. And this is also my first time tackling a bathroom renovation, which means I have to pick out tile and faucets and all of that stuff, which is really exciting, but also kind of intimidating because there's so much to think about. But what I do know is that I want to keep this space really nice and light and fresh, but I also know I want it to fit the rest of my house, which is kind of like a modern vintage design. So I definitely want to have some of those vintage touches that I love to have. So that is kind of the start of this design. Now I do have a little bit of time today, so I thought it would be fun to head out and actually start looking at tile, and then also maybe even getting some samples that I can bring back here and start seeing them in the actual space, so that when the demo is done, I have a solid design all planned out. I just got to Floor & Decor. I'm gonna head in and see what they have. I think for the most part, I already roughly know what I wanna do on the shower walls. I really like that like kind of off-white textured tile look. I just think it looks really pretty and I think it's gonna brighten up the space. But what's throwing me off is the floors. One, I just don't know what I want for the floors, and two, I'm wondering if I should do the same tile on the floors throughout the shower and outside of the shower, or if I should do something different. I'm kind of going back and forth on what I think is gonna look the nicest. So let's head inside and see what they have. Honestly, this is my first like big real tile job, so I also kind of just want to go with something that's going to be easy to work with. I feel like this and this look nice, but it's also a little plain. I don't know if I want to go that plain. Okay, so I just looked up a shower. I'll pop it on the screen, but it had like this tile for the walls and this tile for the floors, or at least very, very similar. And I really liked it. And then they did like kind of like a checkered tile outside of it. And I really like it. Not sure if this is the exact thing I'm gonna do, but definitely an option. Okay, I just got some samples at Floor & Decor. Honestly, that was kind of overwhelming. I didn't even know where to begin, but luckily I have plenty of time before I actually get started on this bathroom renovation, so I've definitely got a lot to think about. And I'm gonna head to one other tile shop, the tile shop, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day. For some reason, I have a feeling I'm gonna find more of the look that I wanted here. I don't know why, just a little different. It looks like a wider variety of tile. It is the tile shop though. Kind of like this, because it's like distressed and textured. It looks like it's like printed or painted, and it's got some browns in it that would go well with that. I think we're onto something. It's like a sensory board. I don't think I would ever leave the shower. Okay guys, I just finished up at the tile shop. That gave me a lot to think about. I definitely like the options there better. I love this warmth in this tile. It's just the floors. I really got to figure out the floors, but I have time. But I definitely have a lot to think about. Good morning, guys. It is demo day. Yay. I am excited, but also not excited because demo is what it is. I mean, it can be fun, but it also cannot be fun. So I'm gonna get started on the easy stuff, taking out like the mirror and the hooks and all of that stuff. And then once I get to the harder stuff, I'm gonna bring Jordan in and he's gonna help me. So with all the small stuff done, I think I'm gonna start getting to work ripping out this wall. Let's do it. I'm so excited. It looks so nice. It's so nice and open. It's gonna make such a difference having it all be glass. Jordan's making really great progress, and he is a huge help. There is literally no way I could do this by myself. He's also just much stronger, so he can rip through this tile in a way that I cannot. This metal concrete stuff is so heavy, so terrible. It cuts up your hands if you don't have gloves on. So yeah, really, really fun. Jordan is working on ripping up the floor tile. This is the floor tile, and this is the underside of the floor tile, and every piece is soaking wet. I don't know what this material is, but I don't think it is supposed to be wet. I think the tile is supposed to stop all of this from getting wet, and it is just soaked. No wonder that bathroom always felt so gross and damp, because it was. Yeah, this stuff is like disintegrating. I am so glad I'm doing this renovation. Well, I think it's about 5:30 right now. I have made hundreds of trips back and forth from this bathroom to outside where we're dumping stuff, and then tomorrow we're gonna take stuff to the dump, but this is where we're at. Yay! I think we'll be able to finish up in the next like hour or so, and then I think I'm just gonna wait to do this tile for another time, because this part I know I can do. It already feels way less damp in here. Amazing. Good morning, guys. So I actually just finished filming my nightstand makeover video, and this morning Jordan went and rented a U-Haul so that we could get all of the demo stuff out of here from the bathroom, and then also last week he tore down the fence in our backyard, so we got to get that removed as well. So I have been in here filming, he's been loading up the U-Haul, so I'm gonna go check in on him and see how he's doing. Oh, getting out of here. Thank you for all of your help. I honestly think we should just leave this as some kind of yard decoration. Okay, it's all packed up. Jordan's gonna head to the dump, and I'm gonna go back to editing my video. Good morning, guys. So it has been a few days since Jordan took everything to the dump, and over the last few days we've gotten a lot of random things done. I went and picked this up on Facebook Marketplace to replace my vanity that I will not be leaving in this Airbnb, and I love this dresser. It is so pretty, absolutely gorgeous. And over the last few days we have mainly kept this bathroom door shut because we have 3 cats and we don't want them getting in there and messing with things they shouldn't be messing with. And over the last few days, we started to notice a smell, and that smell is mold. Word of warning, if you don't want to know what's behind your walls or under your floors, don't go looking, because you might find something you don't want to find. So since we have mold, it's all in the subflooring. We have to replace the subflooring. And that is a project I determined I would really like Jordan's help with. So that is what we are going to do today, is replace the subflooring. And since we're replacing the subflooring, I gotta get in this bathroom and start ripping up the floor tile so we can cut the subflooring out. So let's get to work. have good news. This tile must be newer than what the shower was, because this stuff is a newer system, and it means that most likely the mold is gonna stop somewhere right here. Awesome, let's keep ripping up tile. Good morning, guys. I am all alone, officially. No husband in sight to cook for me. I'm just joking. But a few days ago when Jordan and I were done ripping up all of the tile and the subflooring, we were beat, but getting all of that ripped up and getting to see what I was working with, I definitely had the confidence that I could cut and install the subflooring by myself. Now, before I could start cutting the subflooring and getting it installed, I went ahead and laid some roofing paper. Now, don't ask me how this works. I don't know how it works or why it works, but apparently if you lay roofing paper down, it helps your floors not get squeaky. Again, don't know how it works. So I went ahead and did that really quickly, and now I am ready to cut and install this subflooring. I am starting with the corner that's over by the hole for the toilet, because I figured that would probably be the best place to start. So I took some measurements from the wall, and then I just saved the piece that we ripped up a few days ago so that I could just trace the hole from the previous piece. So I am gonna use my drill to drill out a hole, and then use my jigsaw to cut out the bigger hole. And then we can hopefully get this installed and there's no issues. Okay guys, my first piece is installed. I did have to bring it back out here and trim off one of the sides just a little bit so that the hole lined up with the pipes and everything, but it was easy and now it is installed. So I am on a little bit of a time crunch today, so I have to get these last 3 pieces cut down quickly. So to cut these pieces down quickly and safely, I am gonna use my plunge saw, and I'm just gonna lay the boards on some 2x4s on the ground and then just use the track and cut them really quickly, get them installed, and call it a day. Let's do it. And that is it, guys. This is where I am ending episode 2 of the Airbnb Diaries. I love being at the end of a video and it looks like I have done no work at all because it's just a demoed bathroom, which isn't very exciting. But I already know I have put hours and hours of work into this bathroom, and I am so happy that this part of the project is done and out of the way, and now I have a nice clean slate to work with. Also, for Jordan, who was a little bit of a skeptic on whether this bathroom renovation needed to happen or not, demoing the bathroom answered the question for him of whether it was worth it or not, because he did not realize just how bad this bathroom was, and even I didn't realize just how bad this bathroom was. But now, having a few days of letting it air out and dry out, it already already feels so much better in there and so much cleaner. I can't wait to get in there and start rebuilding this bathroom. But it is gonna be a little bit before I get back into this space because I kind of determined that I want this renovation to be the very last thing I do. All of the other projects I have to do for this Airbnb, I'm a lot more comfortable and confident in my skills, whereas a bathroom renovation is going to be a whole new experience. So when I get back into this bathroom, I want this to be the only thing I have to focus on. And also giving myself a little bit of time between now and when I get started on this renovation and rebuilding this bathroom. It'll give me the time to learn more about tiling, picking out tile, all of that stuff. So it'll be very, very, very helpful. So I've got to head to Lowe's to start getting supplies for my next project. I hope you guys liked this video and the start of this project. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.